Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Gamey Daddy channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Today, I have my other episode of what I'm calling useless talents. Now, I call it useless talents, but I think it's just an easy name to go with. We're going to be looking at a lot of the attributes, talents, bonuses that are not, in fact, in this case today, we're going to be looking at a skill that doesn't necessarily get a lot of representation because their payoff doesn't necessarily seem strong on the surface. And today we're going to be looking at the Deflector Shield. Now, I've made a number of videos about the Deflector Shield, and I think this is one of those videos that I'm making from the perspective of having had the Foundry Bulwark chest piece and backpack. Now, we'll look at the Deflector Shield, we'll look at how I'm running it, and it's not min-maxed. I got a comment on my last video, somebody telling me when I've played a little bit more and maxed out a few gear, I can come back and give advice, and I thought that was funny, because I probably have a lot more playtime than that person. Maybe they have more playtime than I do, but you guys know I split my time, I divide my time in multiple accounts, so my shade levels are not going to look really glamorous. They are going to be scattered all over the place because of the logistics, but I enjoy it that way. It keeps things interesting for me. Nonetheless, the Foundry Bulwark has provided a few things that does take the Deflector Shield from mediocre, that's what I'll call it, because I've run it without, and I was happy with what I had, but I wasn't necessarily elated. I didn't get past the point of, it's kind of nice. But now that you have something like this, I think it really did change the game when it came to running this. So let's look at the whole setup. We'll look at some gameplay, and we'll talk extensively about this. So Foundry Bulwark gives you two pieces, 10% total armor, 1% armor regen, 50% shield health. And then the 4-piece is basically whenever you or your shield takes damage, 20% of that amount is repaired to both over 15 seconds. If you're using the chest piece and backpack, it repairs for 30%, and that duration for the backpack is reduced to 10 seconds rather than 15. So you add that, and then you take something to, make your sidearm deal a lot of damage. The Punch Drunk Mask is one of those because it's under the Douglas and Harding brand set, which gives you 20% pistol damage, and you have 20% headshot damage. So you land a headshot, you're golden. There's some armor regen, and I have a headshot damage mod. I would prefer to get a better Punch Drunk Mask, but I can't complain because for the longest time I searched and I couldn't find one. I have a regular one here, but it doesn't have all the stuff that I would need. And then I'm using a Richter and Kaiser holster, the Forge version, which grants me 50% shield health. You've got to give this build a lot more shield health buffs, because if not, you're gonna be melted and you're gonna be destroyed. So here is the control point gameplay that I got to play, and I have to say there are a few things that happened. It's level 4. My open world's on challenging, and I did one mission or one side hustle that brought it up to level 4 control point, and a lot of elite enemies spawned. So that gave me a very good lesson on how I should build this for the future and make it even better. A lot of elites here in this particular control point, and I was getting peppered all over the place. And I have been playing with this, by the way, before even making this video, and I will tell you, for those who want to try it, the sweet spot is challenging. Challenging makes you feel very strong. Heroic puts you a little bit on the back foot, but you do feel, you get a little bit of strength. The only thing is AI behavior is much more erratic, and they are, elite enemy NPCs, they are just better tuned in terms of the strategy, trying to circle you, trying to hit you in the head. If you notice, he's aiming a little higher, so he wants more headshots, this enemy NPC. Sometimes they'll hit you in the legs. So those are some of the things that you're going to have to deal with since you have more elite NPCs. But the build was able to hold its own. It was able to deal the damage that was necessary when enemies were shooting at me. They were able to take the damage that, this particular shield provides. In fact, let's do a quick look at the shield itself, because it's a subject of today's discussion anyways. Its job is a deflector shield. It causes incoming damage to ricochet to nearby highlighted targets with a clear line of sight, and you can look at all of the damage factors. And so this is pretty much how I ran it, except I found out, and this is one of the beautiful things about running these weird builds, I found out that you can actually add the deflector damage mods to this under the different, mod slots, which is nice because, you need the deflector shield to be able to deal more damage. So right now I'm sitting on close to about 13. 0.2 or so damage. If I had the max mods, it would be 15, which getting these max mods, I don't know if I'll be able to get them, but good luck though if I can get my hands on them. And so that was the really cool and unique aspect of running a build like this. And I've told you guys already that, if you don't have these items, I don't think you'll enjoy the experience. I think, you'll have to want a challenge in order for you to be able to leverage, kind of saying, okay, I want something that would challenge me and I want to try a build like this. But this is a take on the run and gun shield build, because a lot of people use this. Some people will use, if you use the bulwark shield, oh, it's a home run. I mean, you'll be able to just stand there, take damage, aim better, no pressure. Your health is going to be pretty much golden for the most part, unless they circle you and try to damage you. But for the most part, you're going to be playing with this on heroic on the back foot. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I believe that, sometimes when you're playing the game, you really want to give yourself a challenge that's fun, that's attainable. Again, another really interesting thing that I would say is improvements to make this better. And I know that once I make those improvements, this is going to go from mediocre to much better. In fact, right now it's much better with the Foundry Bulwark, but if I want to take it up another notch, I need to completely add all my mods. I already did that and I saved my loadout. And then another thing that I need, which I don't have yet because this is another character on a whole different platform, is getting to upgrade my Technician's Artificer Hive to be able to equip and use it in the max level. Right now, I also have skill damage, so I'm getting more skill damage here using overclock CPU, so that's something to take into account. But what I want is all of the benefits of the Hive so that I can actually have my shield be better. And I understand. Some people will say, why not just run Firewall? I get it. I could run Firewall, but I have to go ahead and do all that stuff here, that shenanigans here. I am not necessarily in the mood for all of that, but I'll try my best. I'm working on Gunner right now, and so once I'm able to get that going, I'll go ahead and unlock Firewall, and I'll try with Firewall, and I'll be happy to come back with an update looking at that. Another opportunity that I see is using protection from elites, and I think something that I've been thinking about, because when you're playing the much more difficult control points, apparently it seems like the elite spawns are actually increased, or in a sense, they want you to melt as fast as possible. So this is something that will really help the overall build in using protection from elites. If I can get my hands on more of them, I think protection from elites, you're able to get, is it 15% or 13% you're able to get on each one? And so if you can get better protection from elite mods, you don't even need the best, you should be fine. And then rolling armor regen, making sure that all of the builds have max armor, and I can roll armor regen so that, because if you think about it, ladies and gentlemen, armor regen, if you're getting 1%, you're regenerating 1% of your total armor. I think that's how it works. So the more armor you're able to get, or the more, armor you're stacked on your character, that percentage will be generating. So that's actually more for you. So the Deflector Shield, I want to know what your judgment is. I think it's no longer mediocre once you're able to pad it up with all of these amazing different talents using the Richter and Kaiser holster, the Forge holster using the Foundry Bulwark, and I'm also using the Liberty sidearm, which is an exotic. But again, if you didn't have access to the Foundry Bulwark and the chest piece and the backpack, maybe you were using the other 4 pieces, you would have to lose out on potentially what I'm doing with the Richter and Kaiser holster. But again, I also thought about the Closeout Holster as another improvement as well. The Closeout Holster is the named Wyvern holster. I don't think I have one here. I have one on other accounts. And that holster gives you 500% melee damage, and it's under the Wyvern brand sets, which gives you another 10% skill damage. So that's another reason I actually considered that if I could use the Closeout holster, if that's going to change things. I'm looking forward to the DZ vendor probably selling one. And then if I can find or get my hands on one, I'll be happy to just go into DZ and farm and buy one, try it out, and see if that other alternative combination takes it to being way better. Because some talents, as I said in my past videos, they can stand on their own. Some of them will do well in specific scenarios, and some of them you really have to work very hard to get them to be, to get them to unlock their full potential. And, I guess it's one of those things where when you have multiple of these in a game, you know, you just have to go with a hodgepodge of different things to be able to make it work. But then once it works, you know, what will be the comparison to anything else? In case of the Deflector Shield, there really is no comparison for, you know, what we call like a good build right now. There really isn't anything. You know, Deflector Shield right now is not on the table of a lot of, you know, players right now. So I guess it's one of those things where, you know, we need to work as a community to building and looking for the most fine-tuned version of it that works for, say, the shield running gunner archetype. But I'll leave this conversation here. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think? You know, how do you use this, if you use it, or if you've ever used it, or you not even touch it at all? Let me hear in the comment section. We'll talk in another video. Thank you so much for your time and audience. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Peace out.